someone said in the comments section that you look like someone. And you know what? I was saying to myself, this dude looks like someone famous, man. Who could it be? And I couldn't figure it out. And they said it. And I was like, oh, shit. Damn if they say you look like a Spanish version of, what was it, Ryan Gosling? Ah!
Hey, hold on. The sad part, right? That was only one person. Like they said, some other Michael Schaub or someone else, and dog, one person that people are sleeping on, right? I don't know if you watch football.
I don't watch no football, man, unless it's something with Washington or
Dude,
Raiders.
Dude, look up this quarterback. Well, he was the quarterback for the 49ers. Kaepernick.
Oh yeah, you look like him too a little bit, but
Yeah,
look.
no. Bro, when I had my head shaved, I look like Kaepernick, bro.
Yeah, hey, look, for real though, but something about the eyes, man. The Gooseland, he be squinting his eyes a little bit when he talks, man. So, yeah, I could definitely see. I knew you look like someone to me, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, before we start, man, can I say a couple things real quick? Before we get into it, I just wanted to say, like, hey, bro, like, bro, I got hella subscribers, bro. Like, hey, your audience, bro, like, it's shown nothing but support, love, man. You got some great people watching you. I just want to say thank you to you included, but to everybody showing mad love, support, Instagram, YouTube. I'm so thankful. Even to the haters, I'm thankful, man. I appreciate the time and the effort. And man, I'm excited. Let's get this going, bro.
Hey, yeah, that's good, man. I want you to be excited, man. It'll give you something other, to do just to keep you out of trouble as well. Just add on to what you're doing already. And yeah, man, the people that view my content, they're loyal 100%, man. And I've had many people come on to my channel and start their own YouTube channel, and I'm talking about they get thousands of subscribers just by coming on to the show, man. If you're real, and people like you, and you can tell from. Look, when I first seen you just doing burpees and just talking, about to go get your tattoo taken off your face and stuff, I said, you know what? I think people like this guy, man. And he's been locked up in Cali for so-and-so amount of time. I'm going to have him on the show. And sure enough, man, what we got, you're going on like 50,000 views from, I think, video was yesterday or day before.
Bro, it's blowing up, dog. It's blowing up.
Yeah,
that's what's up, man.
And everybody likes you in the comment section, man. So I brought you back.
Yeah.
We're not going to be talking about politics or anything today. Maybe talk about if you've seen some crazy stuff in there, you can talk about stuff like that. But
hey, Death, I do if you don't mind, man, I would like to speak on one quick little matter just to iron out the wrinkles, you know what I mean?
Oh, hey, go right ahead, man. You ain't got to now though. You man.
Me, I know, brother. No. For my thing, it's just like I'm gonna just keep it real simple, right? For the West Coast, for any Sureño or Southsider that's active, right? That's really active. And same thing goes for the Woods, whoever. Us and the whites being on YouTube, talking on anything about prison, period. That's a no-no. That's a no-no.
Yeah.
So no one has to look any further. This is a message to all my haters. You don't have to look any further. I am a Southsider who spoke on prison politics. That's a no-no. It is what it is. This message is not to my haters. I'm not affected by them. This message is to other individuals with a platform themselves and sit on a high horse and want to say, hey, Southsiders or Sureños who talk are all bad. That's fine. I understand. But on that same note, whites, skinheads, Peckerwoods who speak on prison politics, guess what? It's a no-no, and you all bad too. So I'm admitting it. It's not a problem to me. I ain't going back to prison, brother. I got a positive message. My life is headed for nothing but success. I want to make it. Even when I was in prison, I used to tell myself, he's like, bro, we're doing all this politicking and we're doing all this fighting and all this. But at the end of the day, I feel destined for greatness, bro. I don't know what it is. I don't know how I'm going to achieve it, but I'm better than this. I'm above this. So that's just kind of what I wanted to say, just to kind of address certain situations. I'm not going to sit here and explain myself and say, this tattoo means this or this tattoo means that or you got it wrong. At the end of the day, you know what? I'm going to say you got it right. Assume the worst of whatever you can assume about me. I'm going to push past you. And I'm going to push forward. I'm going to push on. You know what I mean? That's all I wanted to say, brother. Let's
Hey,
slide past these haters, bro. Let's just slide past them. Let's get it, bro. You know, I love the love and support, man. Let's get it.
that's all that matters, man. You know, I was just talking about something like this with a few people, man. And that's the right mentality you gotta have. You gotta just brush that shit off, especially if you're gonna be doing stuff on YouTube and Instagram, stuff like that. But see, this is why I don't understand. You know, people can come on here and talk about prison in my eyes, you know. But when it comes to, you know, like the deeper stuff, I would never allow like that shit to come onto the channel, the inner workings of things. But I mean, I've seen people from all different sides get on YouTube and tell a couple war stories or, you know, stuff like that, or just talk about, hey, what the hell, you know, what's it like to be in this prison? You know, everyone already knows that prison in California is pretty much racially segregated and all that. And not to mention, they got rap videos out there. People from both gangs, from all over, they're out there in social media, in rap games, and they're actually getting themselves locked up for talking too much. But you don't see no heat from people like that. You know, they're just making music. It doesn't matter, man. I mean, it's all for, you know, this is a digital age. You know, this is a digital age, and when you talk about prison, there's two types. You talk about prison, that's basic concept, you know, basic stuff. And then you talk about prison is shit that you don't need to say. And I never have anybody on here that has stuff that they shouldn't be saying. You know what I mean? But I understand where you're coming from. I understand some people can get salty.
No, bro, listen, bro. Like, I spent 10 years in this madness, right? Like, I spent 10 years in a position to where it was like, if you go and talk, even if you're asking a CO, hey, can I get a medical form, a medical slip? You have to have a shadow. You have to have someone behind you to vouch for every word that was said. It's 100% accountability, but it's almost contradictory because I've watched other people's videos, other YouTubers, and they'll say, hey, you know, I'm not on that PC stuff and all this other stuff. And then they'll even go into giving you a distinct, detailed breakdown of things about PCs, and in that self, you are talking a lot. Yeah. You are exposing a lot. You are doing exactly what you were not supposed to do. So look, I'm not even caring about them, bro. I'm gonna say for me, right? I've been so motivated and so inspired these past couple of days, bro. I'm not afraid of no man. I'm not afraid of my hood. I got backlash by them for the first video, just to let you know, just for that interview. I'm not afraid. I don't care. I live for my baby on the way. I live for my wife. I'm trying to succeed in life, and I have a message, bro. That's all I got to say. I've been motivated and I've been inspired these past couple of days. And I don't know. I would just tell you, like, or tell anybody, don't try to understand prison politics because you never will. You never can. Not in California. These prison politics in California are the reason why PCs have grown to outnumber GPs. It's unrealistic, you know. It's everyone's on a high horse until they're not. You know, everyone's Mr. Montezuma or, you know, shot caller this until he's not. It's all peace with me and positivity, but I stand my ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this much: we got some fun stories ahead of us, bro. We got some real good war stories. We got some fun stuff ahead of us, bro. I got a video in the making right now, right? Before I put it together and I put it out, I got a batch of pruno. I make fire ass pruno, bro. Fire. So, you know what I mean? I'm keeping the wheels going on my end. You know what I mean?
That's good, man. And look, you know, positive. Look, that's what I strive for, man. Is positivity, and just because you lived a life in prison, you know, you can come out and be a totally different person. Like, I've almost broke the prison mentality 100%. I mean, there's still that hidden beast within me that still remembers and knows how to function if it came down to it. But I'm just living that square life, man, you know, and it's great. It's amazing.
I love it. Yeah,
bro. I don't need to be no alpha male, and we, you know, just be positive, man, and stay out of trouble. That's the key. I don't want to see you going back, man. I don't think any of my viewers want to see you going back either. I could tell you got a long road ahead of you of a lot of good stuff. You know what I mean?
Dude, hey, did I tell you that I got off probation a couple weeks ago?
Nah, man. How was that?
Dude, listen. Remember I told you I wasn't ready to parole in 2015? That crime was a very violent felony. It was home invasion and all the other ones I told you, right?
Yeah.
I would have had high risk parole for 3 years. The 5 years I caught behind the drugs or whatever, that was a blessing in disguise, because although it was 5 more years and a lot of stuff happened within those 5 years, you know, I got jumped and all kinds of crap was happening to me. And I was like, yo, what's going on here? At the end of the day, it was a blessing, bro, because it was a drug offense that kept me in prison. When I got out, I got this new law they passed called AB 109. It's like a drug offender law where if you have that conviction on you, since my old term was done, this was my new conviction. If you parole on this drug offense, you're not on parole, you're on probation. So it was only a year straight that I was on this, bro. And my POs, you know, they were, when I say they were cool, they were more than cool, bro. Like, they came to my house. I even flashed on them, bro, one time, like in front of everybody, like, because I would get fed up with them coming to my house. But they were understanding and whatnot. And after a year, I got off, bro, in a couple of weeks. And it's like, you sit back in retrospect and you look at everything, bro. And it's like, I got myself off this. I'm very institutionalized, bro. I still wear my shower shoes in the shower.
Damn.
There's still certain things. Yeah, bro, it's ugly, bro. My girl clowns me every day, bro, because, like, if that water or that bathtub hits my feet, I'm like jumping out of that. I'm not with that, bro. Like, so I'm still very institutionalized, but you know what? I got myself off probation, bro. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but that's not easy for a lot of dudes to do, especially institutionalized.
If you're, there's nothing wrong with tooting your own horn when it comes to getting off probation. I'll tell you what, I felt like when I got released, I felt like I was reborn, man. You know, it was like, damn, that was probably one of the greatest feelings I've had since I could remember, man. You know, besides the birth of my children and getting married and stuff, but that was an amazing feeling, man. Just to know I could go wherever the freak I want to go. I could light up a J right now if I want to. Smoke good old doobie.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. It's a great thing, and congratulations, man. Stay out, man. You got to stay out.
Thank you.
If you got some shit coming your way, man, just try to bob and weave it, man. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, all day long.
That's all there is to it. But and I ask everyone this, man, that comes on the channel and talks about prison. What do you think would be the top craziest thing that you've seen in lockup?
Oh man, I got so many. Damn, if I was actually wrapped up in one of the most craziest things I've seen, but you know,
something that you can talk about. You know what I mean?
I can't talk about that. But just know, when I was in when I was in Corcoran, I think seeing Charles Manson and talking to him was pretty.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that, man. Actually, let's talk about that for a second, man.
Yeah,
because I meant to talk about it the last epised, but didn't get a chance.
That was I actually got him to sign a drawing that I did, bro. Okay, so that nobody gets any misunderstandings, right? Corcoran, Unit 4A, 4 right. That is one unit. It's one pod. That is the only pod that these inmates, which are in PHU, Protective Housing Unit. That's not PC. That's like PC. That's like a whole different thing. I saw Charles Manson, Walker Ona. He was real famous for killing all these farmers out here in Corcoran. He was a field worker, and instead of paying his workers, he'd just bury them. He killed so many. Damn. I saw all kinds of dudes. Yeah, a lot of famous dudes are in there. So anyways, when the unit next to them, very next pod is it's still the same building, but it's B section and C section. Those are good sections. Those are just regular sections, right? At least at the time they were, or whatever. So Charles, when they get in trouble, I even saw John Gardner, bro. Anyone doesn't know John Gardner? He was on lockup. He was on MSNBC. They put him in our unit. When they screw up or get caught with cell phones or something, they pull them out of PHU and they throw them in our unit. They don't program with us. but they just put him in our unit. They put him in a cell in our unit, which is 23 and 1. We never see each other. We never can touch each other. Anyways, Charles Manson, I used to see him at yard. And one time I was working out, my cellie was like, "Hey, fool, that's Charles Manson right there." Picture two rows of cages, right? Right in front of our cages, right in front of their unit, is a big fence that has a curb, and it's like a little mini park. They got grass, they plant flowers, and they got a handball court. It's like a little mini park, almost. Very small though. And Charles Manson was on the gate, and he was looking at our cages, and he didn't look anything like what I had thought he was going to look like. You see all the crazy haircuts and shit, and all these weird looks that he has. He was just a very short, bald-headed, no goatee, nothing, white dude with like little color glasses, color lenses.
Yeah.
And I remember telling my cellie, bro, that's a chomo, bro. He's just some chomo. That ain't Charles Manson. Charles Manson, he looked at me and he was like, "Hey, man," he struck up the conversation first. He was like, "Hey, man, it's hot outside." I said, "Yeah, it's hot out here." He was like, "I wish I could be where you're at, in those cages." He's like, "But they got me over here with all these guys, I was like, "Okay." So I started talking to him. He's like, "But every time they move me or transfer me, it makes headline news." So I'm like, "Okay." So I asked him a question. I just read the book. So I was like, "Hey, so what's up with Helter Skelter?" Just to see if it was really him, right? And he's like, "Yeah, I believe." At one point, I believed in that. He was like, "But that was all bullshit all along, right?" He's an old man. You gotta remember, he's old, man. He's this is probably about 4 to 5 years tops before he passed away.
Yeah.
And I used to walk to my visit, bro, like shackled up in handcuffs, and he used to be walking to his visit right alongside of me with like a hell of COs pushing his wheelchair. But anyways, he was like so I asked him a lot of questions that I had for him because I had done so much studying up on him because I found out he was next door. So, I asked him about Freemason because I heard he was a Freemason. So I talked to him about the Beatles. You got to know what's up with Charles Manson and his whole story to understand why I was asking these questions. So it was him. Anyways, a couple months later, he gets caught up with cell phones. It actually made the news. He got caught with cell phones. His fiance at the time was like 21. He had all kinds of people trying to bring him to watch cell phones. And so he comes to our unit, and my homie downstairs, he was a Crip. He was I'm not gonna say his name. Anyways, I was like, "Hey, bro, man, I was doing this badass drawing, bro. I did a crazy drawing of I do a lot of dark art, and it was one of the popes, but possessed, right? And it was like a hills with upside down crucifixes and everything." I was like, "Man, I'm gonna send this down to you, see if because he was already sending packages to everybody. I was like, see if he'll sign it." So he signed it, bro, but he signed it on the back of the drawing. I was pissed, but I sent it home to my dad and everything. And, I just thought it was a surreal trip to be able to get that from him because although he is, he's a scumbag, let's just call it like it is. He's a scumbag, dude. But at the end of the day, it's like he's a part of prison history. He's a part of prison history that not a lot of people have ever talked to or were able to ever come into communication with. And here I was with the drawing, with his signature, and I sent it to him.
That joint might sell for some big bucks if you get your hands back on it sooner or later.
Yeah, no, you ain't lying, man. You ain't lying. And that's what I plan to do, man. But, I got to get on talking terms with Pops right now, and go from there.
Yeah. I heard he was sending out lockets of his hair for money, man, in prison and all kinds of stuff. He had a huge fan base.
Yeah, no, his fan base is ridiculous. Money, he would have mail in mountains, people. All his followers for so many years, they actually would, every prison he went to, they would pick up and actually move by every prison he went to. People would come to visit him and say, "Hey, I just want you to bless my child, bless my baby." He had fanatics, bro, crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy as hell. And how he did most of his time in that prison, right?
I mean, for as long as I heard, he wasn't. I went there. At one point, it seemed I was going back to Corcoran back to back because they would kick you out of the shoe, send you right across the street to their yards. They have all kinds of yards in Corcoran as well. And then I get into a riot and come right back. Get into a riot and come right back. I was like the king of riots. I don't know why. I've had riots kick off over phone. I've kicked off riots over phone calls, disrespect or whatever the case. Hey, can you still hear me? I think my headphone just died.
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Oh no, we're good. We're good. So, anyways, yeah, riots over all kinds of stuff. So I was always sent back and forth to shoot. Every time I was there, the old man was still there. He was still doing his thing. Still
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I did a story on a cat that was doing time in that prison, man. I can't remember his name. Osano or something like that. Osuna? Ever heard of that guy? He's got like Joker diamond tattoos over
Oh
his.
yeah, I was with that fool in
He
Kern
killed his
Valley.
cellmate and made like nationwide news.
Yeah, I was with him in Kern Valley. He was in Kern Valley in the ELP. ELP is like, I never got to see him because he was like, ELP is a crazy unit where like people who are like righteously crazy already. So they're like on their own. They're on their own. He was on his own trip, but yeah, he's into all that devil worshiping crap and shit. Kern Valley's where it all went down though, bro. Like Kern Valley's where that's like the home of Sellies killing Sellies right there. For some reason, that's where it goes down.
Probably because they're all batshit crazy, huh?
No. Only EOP. That's like
Oh,
okay. Yeah, it goes from like 1 block to 8 block. The thing about Kern Valley is like you got the shoe and then you got the shoe kick out. That's the shoe kick out yard. So everyone who's there is for the most part doing life, if not life without. Nobody really cares about anything. Dude, it's just so much death going on in that place, so much madness. I actually love the prison though because the cop. It was so much chaos that actually when I had laid one of my first demos when I got there, he was supposed to be getting removed. I didn't like how he was removed. The yard was getting laid down. I looked at the homie like basically this is all you're gonna do to him. So I went on to just ravish this dude, right? Like he had to have his whole top of his ear stapled back on. I put like 9 staples in his forehead. Like I was on this dude, bro. That very same day, just because of like how used to it they are, they let me sign off on a mutual combat chrono with him. As long as he signed off, we could both go back to the same yard. Salute to him. He signed off. We went back to the same yard. Any other prison, bro, I would have had assault with a deadly weapon, SBI, great bodily. I would have been hell screwed up. I would have still been in prison, bro. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I kind of respected that prison for the fact that like when shit rumbled, they would let you rock. They would let you rumble so long as you weren't, basically maiming the person or killing them. You could pretty much get away with a lot of stuff for a little while.
Yeah. And let me ask you this, man. Throughout time, prison tends to change a little bit here and there. Would you say, out of the 10 years that you were in for, do you think towards the end of your bid, prison was changing? Was politics getting slacker or tighter? Was it getting more dangerous or more safe in the prison system?